I forget to hit it. I mean, it says it's recording, so I guess I'll have to believe the technology. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. It's Michelle and Adriana and Kimber coming at you today with an On the Couch. If you've been lucky enough to watch one or two, the first one was with Adriana, and the second one was with Kimber, and the third one is the three of us. So we are doing a threefer with Adriana and Kimber. So thank you guys for joining me. We're gonna really wing this like we always do. That's kind of how we work anyway. Let's have a little catch up. Let's share some feelings, what has been going on in your journey. I've asked the ladies to prepare questions if they felt led to, because we're gonna kind of interview each other, and in the knowledge that Spirit's going to attract those souls that need to sit and not learn, but feel comfortable with and chill out with on the couch. That's what this was all formed for, so that you guys all know that you're not alone, that you may be crazy, but that there's other people who are joining you, and that there is some kind of vision, some kind of mission, some kind of leveling up that we're all experiencing. I'm gonna put you on the spot, Adriana, and really ask if you could bring us into an invocation, a little bringing into. Would you mind doing that for us, love?
Okay, let's get it.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so we're just going to take a deep breath in from the deepest parts of your belly. Let that breath come all the way up to your chest, all the way up to your head. And release that out. You're just going to take your hands and you're just going to place them and you put them up as if you're pushing something above your head. Just breathe here for a moment. This is your crown chakra. This is your energy. This is your playing field. Feel into it. And I want you to invoke the energy of your ancestors, the energy of your ascended masters, your angels, your higher self, your inner child. Feel all of that tingling down into the palms of your hands, throughout your arms. Hold that energy there. And when you're ready, we're going to take that energy and spread it across, letting our arms drop as if we are blessing the entire space around us. Thank you for allowing us to be here. Thank you for this space, this time. Everything that is released here is blessed. It is heard throughout all of the universe, throughout every paradigm, every continuum that exists. This is for us. Ashe and amen.
Ashe and amen. Ooh, oh my body.
Ooh, that feels so good.
Right? I mean, that could be it. Like, thanks for joining us, and we'll talk to you next time. Like, oh my God. And like, all the hairs, they're all standing up. It's just ridiculous. I'm not one of those people. I don't get, but man, that's awesome when it happens. All right, Adriana, not sure what you're on today, but thank you.
I think sun goddess energy with that,
right?
that tapestry is just like, bring that light, girl. You're bringing it.
Thank you.
Speaking of that, Miss Kimber with her coffee, let's talk about bringing the light. I mean, how's your past week been when it comes to that title of bringing the light? Like, has that been a focus, a mantra?
Actually, it's the opposite. I mean, kind of. Like, I've been in a lot of shadow work this week, looking at those dark spots. looking at hate, my own hate within myself, and how to release that so I can forgive myself and family.
Has there been specific processes that are brand new, or is there old lessons that you're applying, or kind of everything?
It's kind of interesting. I've been helping other people process, and in that, I think I've been taking their energy of what they've been processing, where it's kind of built up in myself, and it's kind of very embodied this week, not very intellectual. And as my intellect comes more online and there's less of just being in the body, I just could feel the anger and put words to it. And so today I kind of processed through that anger and the shame around deciding not to have a relationship with my parents. And even though people around me are deciding the opposite. And so having that push and pull, am I doing the wrong thing? Am I a bad daughter? And really trying to reconcile that and not feel like I have to be on the same path as other people.
Well, yeah, that's a lot. That's heavy. The parental karmic contract, and that's the whole thing about this time and space wrapping up such karmic contracts. And for people who might not be aware, karmic contracts are when our soul's energies get together and kind of chat it out, like Kimber and I. Our souls kind of met with each other before we both came out of our mothers and said, hey, I'm going to be this with you, and I'm going to do this to you, and you're going to do that, and it's going to happen this, and this might hurt. And we kind of hug it out and come in. And there are things in that contract that expire, change, dissolve. We're done. We give the peace out, or the, whatever that thing, whether it be our parents, our best friends, family, community, whatever, a pathway, a belief, a job, that karmic contract is over. And that's what this space and time with this triple hits of eclipse. Yes, we have eclipse seasons, but there's something special about this one because 2020 is really being this huge magnifying glass. So there's been a triple kick in us to really, let go of certain things. And most of them, if not all of them, are karmic contracts. And because humans haven't been raised to align with that, not yet. I mean, the new guys are like that, but we weren't aligned like that. So it's harder to let it go because we think, oh, parents, it must be, I have to be there, and da, da, da. And there's a lot of guilt and shame and adjustment of parentals. And then that just like totems down to friends, and you start to really see the karmic contract for what it was. It was a beautiful moment and a lesson, and it's either going to dissolve and completely go away. And you can do that with love, and finding that love is like way more easier to talk about than to do. But this is that time and space for us to let go of those karmic contracts. That includes lovers and friends. And even if something were to happen to the three of us, that we would have to honor and respect. And I think we would more than anything if we knew, okay, that one's done, but it's being applied to everything right now. And I've done the same journey. I don't deal with my human parents anymore, and that came with a lot. I'm the youngest. I'm the only product of the two of them, and so aren't I supposed to be there for them? And I'm like, well, I have been. Like for 50 years, I was there for them in all their mess and whatever. And I'm not blaming, and I'm not, it's just funny, that whole process. But thank God you and I have had each other to talk about our mothers, because we have parental shit.
Yeah, but man, I really do feel like a shift today when I processed, because I really was able, to, I don't know, it was visually going into, taking away the suffering that she caused me, that she doesn't have to hold that baggage anymore. And
you're freeing her from it.
yeah.
Wow, that's nice and generous.
Yeah. I mean, my biggest want and desire for her is to have peace and not to suffer. So that's where I can take away that energy of blaming her for my suffering anymore.
Yes, Adriana, say it.
Yeah, I think you said it when you said it was very generous. And it still brings me back to like, what does that do for you?
I don't have the hate. Yeah, because with blaming her for my suffering, there was anger and hate inside my heart for her. And and that anger and hate makes me feel shame. And so within this, I can forgive myself for the hate and anger I had for the suffering she caused me, and I can let her go of those bonds as well. And I don't know, it was just this beautiful thing where she always said, I don't want you to be like me. And today, through the work, I was like, I'm not like you.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm myself. And I don't know, there's just a really big, I think, shift with that now, of something that has been on my heart for a really long time.
Wow. Whew.
That's intensive. Finding yourself from your mother. I mean, think about it. Just like I'm tethered here to this shit, I mean, we're tethered to mother. The minute she gets pregnant with us, there's a cord that hooks her to us. And it's like my mother, myself. And we get cursed with these things like, oh, your mother sounds just like you, or you look just like your mom. And it's like, holy shit, where am I in all this? And you look at your mom in loving ways because they're wonderful, but then you look at their ugly that they can't even face, and you're like, I'm like that bitch? Oh my God. Well,
Yeah.
I'm just talking from this, person and her mother, this is her painting, actually. This is what I wanted. This is what I wanted from my parentals, was this painting. It was hanging in their bedroom. And I would talk to my boyfriend all night long and stare at this picture that was hanging over their bed. And I told her, this is the only thing I want. I want my parents to be around and healthy, but when they die, this is what I want. That's funny. And it's right here.
Wow. Is that like a mother and a daughter in the photo?
From what we've learned about interpretation, Kimber, right? Intuitive, if that's what you see, then yes. Then that's mother-daughter.
Wow.
But I always imagine and fantasize sister. Because I have two physical sisters that I'm not even close to. Like, you guys are my sisters. Like, Kimber, how we've always called each other sister. We look alike and all that stuff, but I see it as sister. Sister is someone you can yak with about mom.
True.
That is true.
Adriana, do you have any mama stuff that you want to share about, or daddy, or is since we're talking parentals?
Yeah, it's been an interesting ride. Yeah, I think I went through this period where when I came out to my family, horrible, I think it's a horrible story, but it is what it is. But when I came out to my family, I just sent them a text message and then I turned my phone off for 24 hours because I just physically could not say those words to them. And so I know that was hurtful to them to like not have access to me for a day, but I needed that. Because as soon as I turned my phone back on, I was just like bombarded with so much disgust, I think is the word that comes out.
My heart.
Judgment, judgment. Maybe that's a better word, but it felt like disgust, And so I went through a whole like 3 years to where like I didn't trust them. I didn't trust them at all. And for me to say that about my parents was like the revolutionary in me was feeling so free, but also my own nurturing self was like, that's not fair to them, you know? And so I think I still straddle that line between like doing what I need to do for myself and still making sure that they're okay. So I think I'm still in that middle. And I haven't completely fallen into this, I'm just gonna do me. And so I still don't share things with them because I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. And I don't want to go back and forth with you because I'm not 10 years old and I will say what I need to say. And it's just, it's annoying. It's an annoying place to be. But I'm riding it out for now. I'm not rushing it. You know, they're grown. They can do what they want. And I'm still happy with or without that embrace for them. Yeah, I think that's where I am right now. Because I see so easily how my dad's struggle with alcohol can come up in me. Even though we're not blood related, he's the man who raised me, you know? And so I can see how his struggles can come up with me and how I just express myself or don't, or how I don't express myself. And then I can see my mama's perfectionism and judgment and preservation mode can come up in me too in a very negative way. And I love them, but I don't love that part. Yeah.
That was really eloquently said. I mean, you have so much clarity. I think that's so beautiful. I mean, that you can ride that center line and be compassionate, but also put your foot down, have those boundaries.
And so it's crazy to hear you say that that's what it is, because to me it still feels like a betrayal. I get it. Yeah. Yeah.
Damn. I mean, because we are talking about that same vessel that we were umbilically connected to.
Yeah.
And she fucked you over? What?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So.
I know. It's like a couple deep breaths about all of that, because if the three of us have that, then guess everybody outside of our door must be experiencing that as well, because we're a collective, we're one. So let's take a minute and an opportunity. Since we have been talking as I always call it the main character in the movie, you know, the meat suit in the movie right now. Let's get in the balcony. So let's strip off our characters. We're going to do a little cleanse because, like I said, when we're doing this stuff, let's do it for the collective. So back into our little happy place. And really feel that heavy meat suit, your human's vessel, the storyline, the character that's connected to Mother, Father, and look at them as that too. The armor that they're wearing, the costume they're wearing, and let their essence literally come up out of that vessel. See them as what you know you are, outside of what others might see, might interpret, might judge, right? All that shit it might see about your vessel. Let's like see all of us evaporate up into the balcony as our true selves. Because you know your parents have that too. If you've got it, if I've got it, they've got it. And you might see a change. You might see your parent turn into the devil. You might see the devil turn into God. Who knows? It's real. And then let's go back to what was in the opening statement about karmic relationships. We hugged it out. We said, hey, I agree to be connected to your body for like 10 months. And I'm going to cause you indigestion and pain and discomfort. I'm going to put you through a couple days of labor. I'm going to rip you in half. Like, really, think about those contracts and what the parents agreed to with you. And I'm going to wake up every night, God, endlessly to clean your poop, wipe your pee, feed you, let you barf on me. And like, we talk it out, this shit, what we're going to do to each other. So let those energies, like, remember the karmic contracts that we set before we popped out of each other. And try to see it from a different perspective in them. We're not going to be able to force their human to do anything. They couldn't force us to do anything. So let's deal with this higher energy. And whatever kind of reconciliation, even if you want to slap their energy, do that. Like, it's all correct. It's all correct because you can feel the undertone is still love. We loved each other in this form before we got here and did this stuff. And now we've each admitted that, although painful, through this healing, we're applying love to the whole thing. And just really accept the honor and gratitude from God itself for doing the work, for loving yourself enough to letting this occur. You fulfilled your contract. You let it happen. So did they. Deep breaths, pushing in and out, old energy, new energy. Get some clarity, and then start to bring yourself back here whenever you're ready to join us back here. Hochi, trail. Yeah, throat chakra. Thank you.
Wow, I think that's it. Really beautiful. Because last night, right before I woke up, or I guess this morning, I just had this vision of a piece of paper just being ripped. Wow.
I mean, the last time I've seen a corny movie where they ripped the I meant contract over, right? Or did I miss the interpretation of that visual, right?
That's crazy. Wow. Divine timing, divine timing.
Isn't it beautiful?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're so lucky. I know we're all like really high right now. I hope everyone that's watching is like, whoa, I didn't even smoke nothing. Like, I'm just like, I hope everyone's like levitating off of their seats right now. Because that really, and then think of our parents, like the freedom we're giving our parents. I mean, Kimber, you said it. I don't want her to feel that anymore. Holy shit. Right away, right, Adreyauna, the ancestors, you can hear them all, da-da, da-pa-pa, da-dee-da-da-da, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
what the ancestors do when we do this for them or acknowledging them.
It's like I had this vision of her finally realizing like the karmic contract is like, don't be like me. And I said, I'm not you. So it's like, that was it.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. All right, next topic, because yeah, let's move on. Let's move on. My eyes are tearing, sorry. You know, and I wrote questions. Isn't that funny? Oh my gosh, Adreyauna, what have you been dreaming about lately?
Oh.
Oh, Adreyauna.
I love when reactions are that. Oh, shit. You don't even have to say a word. That's funny.
It's not even like bad things. It's just things I just don't understand. They feel all over the place, especially this past week. But the past, I don't really remember my dreams from the past couple of days. Honestly, I just know a lot of things happen. Okay. All right. I guess I don't need that one. But I have been having some dreams that are a lot of new things happening in that dream, a new contract or a new car or a new job, like just new things that have been happening. And so I can understand how spirit's like, hey, we got something coming. You ready? You ready? But I also have I know I've been just sleep, because I've just been waking up more energized. So I feel like I'm doing deeper sleep than I am dreaming, or maybe that's what I just remember about my sleeping process or whatever. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna go to another heavy level. So take a deep breath. But a couple of days ago, I had a cousin of mine pass away. And the week prior, so this would have been last Friday, I was trying to go to sleep and then I just couldn't. I was just bothered. I couldn't even put it into words to my girlfriend. I kept trying to tell her, I was like, something is wrong. Like I've laid in this bed for hours and I cannot go to sleep. And I just feel like something is wrong. And then I had a dream that night that someone had like went somewhere and there was a rainbow and I didn't even think anything about it. I just let it go. And then to have my cousin pass away a week after that experience was just like, oh, okay, that was something I should have paid attention to. And so I'm trying to get back into this mode where I'm writing my dreams again. But again, that's not really going as well as I thought, so.
I just find it interesting that you disciplined yourself for not catching that.
It's just such a big thing, you know, like death is huge. Death is a whole journey in itself. So, but it is what it is. You know, I'm learning and I did the best I could. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are you a lucid dreamer where you try to be the joystick inside the dream?
Oh God, no. No, I don't really like lucid dreaming. I get it, I've done it, but it just doesn't feel good to me.
My daughter Chloe had a a nightmare 2 or 3 nights ago where she woke up. You know those dreams where you wake up and you wake yourself up and you're freaking the fuck out and you're like, who am I with and where am I at? And apparently she had to do that because in her dream, she realized she was with somebody and in a situation that she wasn't supposed to be in. And she's Gemini, so she's got it like that. She can be like, I don't lucid dream, but she does, you know, she doesn't know. And she pulled herself out because she said she felt so uncomfortable in that dream. She knew this ain't right, this ain't the right place. And she went, wake up, Chloe. And Chloe woke up with a panic and anxiety, and you know how you'll wake up and feel like you're still there. So I just thought it was interesting that she lucid dreams, you know, she is the control stick when she's in her dreamland. Do you do any kind of lucid dreaming, Kimber, or have you been trying to make decisions in the dreams lately?
Yeah, actually, I do lucid dream a lot. Not typically on purpose. Sometimes it just kind of happens. And for me, there was about a month where I kept having them where I'd wake myself up because I'd try to scream in the dream and then I'd scream myself awake. Yeah, so my poor husband.
I was just about to say, you ever wake your husband up with the ah?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Totally. Yeah, but it was I was doing a lot of throat chakra work. So I think that was part of what was happening. It's just me kind of working through some of the blocks I had by speaking.
Well, since the two of you are blessed to have somebody to sleep next to every night, are they experiencing any kind of dreams that you're catching up on or you're hearing them wake up from? Do you ever intermingle with them in dream state?
Hmm.
I don't know if we were intermingling, but we did recently have this experience where she had like part of the dream and I feel like I had the other part of the dream.
Whoa!
Yeah, that was really crazy. And yeah, it was that was a really cool dream. But she's been okay so far this week. She has had some interesting dreams about family, but for the most part right now it's okay. But she does have times where she'll just like wake up like, where am I? And I'm like, are you okay? You need a water? Okay. And she just like won't recognize where she is for a moment. But she's a Cancer, so I don't expect anything less.
And we're in her territory right now, so yes. So
Wow.
Kimber, you and the hubby share the dream as well? I saw you raise your hand with the hallelujah.
Yeah. It was kind of interesting. Like we had a dream the other day where there was definitely a connection where we both, one of them, I mean, he in his dream, we were on bicycles. In my dream, we were gifted bicycles. And so like, there was this whole like weird connection and we both killed someone in the dream. So it's just a lot of weird connections that way. We still haven't figured out why that happened.
You and your husband are on a mindful journey together. You guys do spiritual work together, talk about it. It's part of the vocabulary and conversation.
Oh yeah, 100%. We do. Well, yeah, actually we do, not necessarily together, but we discuss a lot of what we're doing. We also, well, we do our emotional processing together, that kind of work, our clearing work.
How vital do you think that kind of relationship is going forward for couples? I mean, is this going to have to be an integral part? Because like, did your parents share this journey together?
No, not at all. I never thought of it being, Yeah, I think that going forward for people to be in a fruitful, productive relationship, sharing your spiritual practices, sharing your inner life together, having someone as a support system is just, it takes it to another level. I have a lot of friends that I'm making through the processing that don't have, a partner or their partner is against it. And that I think in some instances can hold you back from really going full force into your spiritual practice, right? So the fact
And just personally, it sucks to have a partner that's that challenge. That is the thing that is your Achilles heel that makes you stop. Just as a checkpoint to make sure. Michelle, do you want to? I just had to interject. I totally feel that. Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Continue.
No, I mean, that's basically all I want to say is like, I just think going forward, if people want to have lasting, long relationships, I think it's kind of shifting where I think people used to stay together because it was the right thing to do for children. And, that only lasted so long, where now it's not really happening, that you both have to be kind of on the same journey together. I mean, I assume that this is what we're all doing. The shift is us shifting spiritually into our higher selves, right? So yeah, it's kind of hard to do if you're not both on that same path.
Adriana, do you believe that a partner or a relationship aspect can die in a karmic contract ending, and then can it butterfly out and transform into something else? Or is it, illusionary, or you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm trying to ask you? Like, I know relationships, they go through phases, and it doesn't mean you got to, you know, leave each time. But knowing this, do you believe that humans are we capable of like walking with each other through this and getting closer in something it's so hard when your partner doesn't believe in God's source energy, but will speak at elevated levels about other shit where you're like, come on, you're an alchemist. What are you talking about? But then you have to see their human pain where they might be rejecting their own spiritual divinity, because God knows you and I have, right, with our own pathway. But do you think it's possible? And like, what would your advice be to someone like me who's like, I mean, I'm not trying to force any destiny. It's just comfort in, you know, I want those karmic contracts to be able to, you know, and know what my heart knows to be true, but not be delusional and still be faithful to myself. Oh, that's a loaded question.
When I tune in deeply, I believe that those karmic relationships can transform. I think that because that energy of connectedness is still there, although it may be binded by the karmic duty, it can shift to be binded by health and love and, you know, all the good juju things. However, I feel like maybe it might be too much on our human self to make that a thing. I feel like you and your partner would have to be in the fucking clouds, in the cosmos right now to make that karmic relationship into something that's super divine and I can't even say soulmate. Just a divine union, how you would describe it, a divine union. And I almost feel like, I don't know if it's just me, but I almost feel like it's not supposed to go there. Saying that feels weird. Maybe y'all could be really great friends.
And you're talking to me specifically, huh?
I'm just talking, but you know, her resume.
No, I feel that too. I really do. And it's funny because most split ups in my previous lives and past lives, and how the spirit that I am usually does it with revenge and hate. And that's how the women in my family dealt with their relationships. You didn't actually split up, you just hated each other and never really broke it correctly. And it's funny because I really feel with this particular person, a complete demolition, which is great. It's been hard. Kimber's been there to help me through some of it. And I've been really focused on just nourishing myself. But I'm really aware that for the very first time, I'm trying to do things with this, like balance. I don't want to go away with fuck you and curse you, because I've had to do so much to clear that up for myself, for the collective, for my family, all that other stuff. And so this time I feel so much grace because everything feels nice and slowed down, and I'm not being pressured with a full-time job and I have to. And, you know, my reality is really giving me time to work through this properly so that I can do it, not as friends, but have this karmic contract ending where it's God bless you, I love you, thank you. Like hug it out like we did up there before we incarnated, instead of the way humans are used to ending things. Fuck you, go to hell, you're cursed, suck this. And that's how we do it. Like I'm not used to even reconciliation. The parentals didn't teach me that. God, it was like World War III, 4, 5, 6. Like I said in the beginning, I gave them 50 years of devotion to see that thing. And now that I feel I'm going on to my own ship and cruise and destiny, it's like, I'm not trying to do things right. I'm just trying to do things according to myself knowing how karma works for this soul, and then for the people that are connected to her. And it's like, I just want to, you know, I want to give love to everything. I want it to suck when it sucks. And, you know.
That makes complete sense. Absolutely. It's like you just want things to be neutral. You just want it to be, instead of like the spikes of like really low or even like really high, because maybe that could turn into something not good either. So just being able to, I like that, the way you described that, just like being here. Yeah.
Well, now that we're talking about it, do you think the humans label of racism, do you think that's a karmic contract? Did we all agree to look at each other's colors and differences? Because I'm Mexican, you're African American, and then we got Kimber bringing up the Korean, and the, you know, we got the Trinity, right? We got a Trinity. We're like, what do they call that? Benetton? Isn't that what we always called it, Kimber? We were Benetton.
We're Benetton, yeah.
Right. But do you think that was a karmic contract, that we were going to look at each other and think that we were separate and get all these? And then do you think there's an end of that contract right now?
Ooh, that's a big fucking question.
Yeah, it
Well, I'm
is.
sorry. I came here to ask the small ones, you know.
It is.
I like big things, girls. I like big things.
I know you do.
I need a big rocket to get to the moon, girls. That's all. Just said
I'm
that out loud.
so intrigued by what you're gonna say, Adreyauna.
I don't even know what I'm gonna say, honestly. Like I don't know. I think that's where I stand. I don't know. Part of me really wants to say maybe, yeah, but then there's another part of me that's just like, no. So I don't know. And I feel it's probably just my own struggle between just like the human experience. So I think I'm gonna have to sit on that one, because I really haven't considered, is it a karmic relationship? Whatever it is, I do believe that it is dismantling itself. In this new era that we're coming into, definitely feels more free. It feels more accepting, but it's not going to be like unicorns and rainbows, because again, no matter how much of the karmic relationship that we were in, you still, just like you, Michelle, are still trying to like find that healing to get here. That's what we're going to have to do, is to find that place of neutrality in order to then make the unicorns and rainbows. So
we can't lose hope.
Can't lose hope. Definitely can't lose hope. And it's just so divine, because there's so many people who are tuned into the higher consciousness, and it's not by accident. I do believe that. And so it's just about like, we have to, part of it is asserting your power in the karmic relationship and understanding like what you do and don't have control over. Yeah, it's a big one. It's a big one.
Kimber, you got any racism stuff you want to add in here?
I don't know. The thing that just keeps coming up for me is it's just like there's so much fucking suffering. And if we don't clear the suffering, it's just the hate that's going to take over.
Yeah. That's about right. That's about right. Yeah. And I think part of me also just like doesn't even want to know the answer to that question, because Like, what is knowing that going to then do for the actions moving forward? Is it going to set us free? Like, when you realize that you're in a karmic relationship, does it trigger you immediately to like, oh, okay, now I know how to move? Or do you still have to kind of sit with the denial, like, no, that's not what this is. I could have sworn that they were my one and only, and things like that. So, yeah.
I think it's just going to be a big clash between people that are awakened, starting to awake, and the people that just have no access to that.
I feel that.
Wow. Is there I mean, I'm worn out. That is so much moving of energy, so much acknowledging. And that's what bringing the light is. It's bringing up the dark things that we either hide or don't discuss with ourselves, or even try to find our belief or vibration on a certain topic or feeling or situation. And that's how it turns into something else, like hurt and, disregard. And I mean, you can see the picture of why it happens, I think we've all figured out maybe even how, but it's the, how do we go from right here, right now, and be better with each other, with ourselves. And it has to be ourselves first. And again, the humans are rushing to divert their attention. They'd rather fight with politics and racism and protesting. And I believe in all that stuff as a human, I really do, but I don't want us to miss this boat this time of finding ourselves spiritually. Otherwise, the rest of it is fucked. As far as I have learned from my experience with reading humans and helping them and guiding them in their own journey, this is just, I can see, not the future, but I know the now. If it's not a certain behavior now, we're fucked in 5 minutes. So that's why I have been really in the tightest relationship of all time. And that's with this thing, with the words and the feelings and the, discussion I have inside and reconciliation I have for things in the past, and trying not to expect a future and just be in the right now. And I really want to, that's my mission. I know that's my destiny. I've seen my natal chart. That's my destiny, is to find my destiny. And from what I came in, when I popped out of Katie, I was born at 11:11 a.m. My nodes are at 11:11. Pisces, Virgo. I'm here for divinity. I'm here to realize I am one. And so I try to let that be in the pathway, because I know once I veer from that, I can really literally feel all these dishes starting to come down. So, and nothing against that. I just don't want to go back to that personally. And I don't want that for the rest of the people. I want everyone to find their dishes and be comfortable with what they're in and in love with themselves. Do either of you, did you prep any questions? Is there anything specifically on your heart that you wanted to talk about or ask? Adreyauna studying.
I did write a few questions.
I did too, yes.
Okay, so one of the questions is, what do you want the collective to know right now?
Is this opened up to both of us, or? Well, I have an answer because I mean, the minute you ask that, of course, I hear an orchestra. I wish I've always said this to people. I wish there was something in me where I could plug myself into a screen or a stereo so that you guys could see and experience what I experienced, so that I could, so you could really be in on the movie. But when you ask that question, what do you want the collective to know? Literally, a symphony started from my feet all the way up to my head. And it sounded like violins and cellos and trumpets and drums and like the whole symphony coming online. And that was the answer. Isn't that great? Like, it doesn't have a word, but that's what my team, my highest self, whatever I am, wants the collective to know. Like, there was a symphony up from my feet, and it had every instrument in the orchestra, and I could hear it come online, and it just got louder, and my whole body just felt beautiful.
Mm.
And harmonic. And it's funny because this is why from the start, I've always been very into relationships. Michelle has always wanted that perfect partner. I really bought into the Notebook. I really bought into all those, he's coming, he's coming. But I always knew, because all the people would always irritate me with the statement, you're going to find out the greatest love of your life is you. And I would always be like this, even though RuPaul, like, all the time was like, how the hell are you going to love somebody else if you can't love yourself? Can I get an amen? The very first time I heard that, I said amen, but I went like this, amen. Yeah, really? But I get it now. Like, I get it. And I knew that even though if I have met my twin or not, that's not even, I don't give a shit about that question. All I know is that thing helped me realize that I am my twin flame. I am my divine union. I am that I am. And, it's like, that's how that harmony makes me feel. Like, I found the divine union, and it was right here. It was in her head. It was in her heart. It was in everything she wants to touch and feel and see. And he is there loving her and supporting her and watching her fuck up and be so proud and take it when she turns her back on him. You know what I'm talking about? For me in my spiritual journey, turning away from all that and not listening to it, and just getting fucked and hurt and even more scar tissue on her to keep him away. And it's like, now I've got this reconciled relationship with that. And that had to do a bunch of outside clearing, and you guys know.
Yeah.
That's what I want the collective to know. Kimber?
I mean, it's basically building on what you said. For me, it was like, find your spirit. Like, we're in retrogrades right now out the wazoo. There's a reason. We've got to go inside.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I think that's definitely much needed at this time. Much needed. And I feel like people are looking for it, but maybe they're just looking in old paradigm ways. So, it may take their time, might need a little pushing, but that's why we're here. That's why we've already experienced many a tower moments for this. I really could not imagine what this experience would be like for me if I hadn't found my spirit. I don't know.
Testify. Yep.
Would be either really numb or terrified out of my ass.
Or dead. I would have clocked out. I would have clocked the fuck out. I would have been like, peace.
Yeah. Yeah. Addictions, just eating, drinking, sleeping, like just depressive or suicidal. Yeah. I wouldn't have been able to handle what is going on right now in the world.
That's why I have so much compassion for those humans that just don't. I think they all know. I think they know. It's just you can understand why they're resisting. And so that gives me compassion, including, that partner that we were talking about, that resistance to that awareness. It's a scary thing. There's a lot of scar tissue for a lot of humans of why they don't connect. But I mean, do you guys believe, yes or no, that each person is going to have to decide whether to, I don't know, awaken or not? Like, do you think the humans have a choice at this point?
I think they make that choice every day. Yeah.
So you think it's judgment day every day for everybody?
I do. Yeah. It's a strange feeling to have, but that's just like what keeps me going. And I guess that's where my hope lies. Like, okay, yeah, I could die very well today, but damn it, I did some fucking work while I was here. Okay, I did some work, even if it was just on myself. Okay, good.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I think you get another chance too. I think you get big chances too. I don't know. I just always feel like you have a moment. There's always a chance. Maybe that's just maybe it's too optimistic. I don't know, but yeah.
I don't think so. I agree with you. Like, I feel like every moment that we're breathing, we have the opportunity. That, it's never too late until it is. It's like seeing someone posted yesterday, a 90-year-old man that just came out. And I'm just like, good for him. 90.
Wow.
Good for him.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine the rage and guilt and shame for I had to stay in the closet for the, can you imagine? Doesn't that give you compassion for his journey? Like, yeah, we're happy, but all the internal dialogue and clearing that human had to do, not just for himself, but everybody who was stuck in the closet for 90 years. Wow.
Yeah. That's why I really don't like when people say, like, once you get a certain age, you're just stuck in your ways. That is one of the saddest phrases that we have.
It's the biggest cop-out we have.
Yeah. You're really going to sit here and tell me this person is only 60 and they are just stuck there? Oh, okay. All right.
No, Karen, no. I'm sorry. I have jumped on the Karen thing. I just think they're so funny because I've been called Beaner and Spick and, all kinds of things. And Karen can't handle being called Karen. It's just
Karen
funny.
can't handle it.
Can't take it. But she can. I got her. I got you, Karen. She's going to rise up. She's gonna get her shit together. Kimberly, was there anything in particular that you had written down or wanted to talk about or ask or anything?
No, I was just coming in with a blank slate. Yeah, I mean, when you were asking the question about the twin flame, the reconcile, like what came to me is what kind of came to me when you asked. It's like, expect nothing, welcome everything, be present.
Can you even believe that I agree with all that? And I feel that. That's how I feel. Like, I've never been this free before. It's always been hurt or pain or expectation or trying to please. It was like this multitude of desperation all the time, and until I've realized that I am the greatest relationship of all time, then it's like everything in the movie has changed. And it feels so easy, but I know it's not. And I want this for everybody else. Like, that's why I choose in every moment the destiny. You know, if it feels good for me, I'm assuming it feels good for the rest of you. So. All right. Well, Kimberly, since Adriana brought us in, would you mind rocking us out? I think this is all that I know. This was a lot for the three of us, and yeah, we moved mountains, and I'm so grateful for you guys. But Kimber, would you mind taking us out?
Okay, let's give this a go. All right. Take a deep breath in. Feel it move into your body, that breath, that life. Feel it move past your heart, into your stomach. Out again. Feel it connect. Connect all of you together. Feel your wholeness. Feel that energy come up from the earth, through your feet, into your legs, into your root chakra, sacral chakra, solar plexus, the heart, throat, open into the third eye, and reach up in gratitude. Gratitude for us being here together. Gratitude for spirit, for our angels, for our higher self, giving us protection and love in this space. And just set with that energy, moving from earth to heaven, from heaven to earth. So much gratitude. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Transcendental. That's what that is. Ooh. Well, all right, ladies, I'm going to hit stop on the program, and I'll be chatting with you guys in a second. But thanks to Adriana for joining us. Thanks to Kimber for joining us. And on behalf of myself and all of our spirit teams, I really hope that whatever we talked about really touched your heart in a way that you feel comfortable, accepted, loved, forgiven, seen, heard, whatever it is you need. Every which need is valid, and you don't have to apologize for it. And there is always an answer and a next way and a next moment. So thanks, 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 thanks all the time. We'll talk to all of you guys later. Thank you. Bye. How do I hit stop? And this is the thing, like I never know how to stop these things.